Here's a strange one for you. Quest 3 versus Pimax Crystal. And all day today, well, for the first half of the day, I've been flying the Comanche in the Quest 3 using VDXR and the link cable. And now I'm flying in the Pimax Crystal. If you're playing Beat Saber or if you're just messing around in a flight sim, maybe you don't notice so much, but when you use it correctly, looking at the gauges, looking at the fine details, you know, there is a massive difference, as is when you look to the horizon. With the Quest 3, it looks good, don't get me wrong, but you know, at the end of the day, it's not a native DisplayPort connection. That makes a big difference. Because in the Pimax Crystal with the spheric lenses, I can look really far out and see all of those trees really, really clear. In the Quest 3, I can still see really nicely into the distance, but it's a bit blurry. And the best way I can describe this, because I've been messing around with DLSS as well, is if you imagine the Quest 3 on, say, performance mode in DLSS compared to TAA mode. That's kind of like the difference between the Crystal and the Quest. So, obviously, the image quality of the Pimax Crystal is at the moment unmatched, to be honest. You know, there's no other headset that can beat it for the consumer market. Actually, there is one more thing I forgot. The binocular overlap in the Crystal is excellent, which gives you a more of a 3D feeling of being there. There's no sort of distractions in the middle of your vision, especially when you look left and right. It's nowhere as bad as the Quest 3. In fact, really the stereo overlap in the Quest 3 is not very good, which is surprising for Meta. It's not so bad for me because my IPD is 64, which is bang on. But if your IPD is on the higher or lower side, actually, funny enough, the Pimax Crystal might be a better option for you. It's probably also good to mention the lenses. They're both really good and provide an excellent sweet spot. The Pimax Crystal uses spheric lenses, and that means there's zero God rays and glare. The Quest 3, on the other hand, uses pancake lenses, which does provide, unfortunately, a bit of glare to your eyeballs. It's not a massive deal breaker, but there is some there. However, the sweet spot in the Quest 3 is way better than the Crystal. In fact, it's better than any other headset I've ever tried. That's including the really, really expensive stuff like the Vario XR3. Crazy, isn't it? You know, nothing else beats the Quest 3 lenses right now. They are excellent. But please don't confuse that with pure image quality. I'm just talking about sort of the overall eye box or sweet spot that you can see. In terms of audio, well, again, the Quest 3 does really well with its pipe speakers out of the strap. It's not bad at all. And I've been really enjoying flying with it today, but when I go back again to the Crystal, listening to the thump of that beautiful engine in this Comanche and all the squeaks and rattles, they really come out perfectly with the DMAS speakers. Now, compared to the sort of default Crystal speakers, the ones that come with it, without the DMAS solution, they are nowhere near as good as the Quest 3. So make sure that you add them with your order if you're going to go get a Crystal. In terms of performance, this is the big deal once again. Even though I'm getting way better image quality and just a more sort of, you know, quality experience in the flight sim, my frames are pretty much exactly the same as they are in the Quest 3 with a lot less, you know, sort of sharpness and image quality. That is because, again, I'm having to do lots of encoding. Well, not me personally, but my graphics card needs to do lots of encoding, lots of clever stuff that's going on behind the scenes to make it work. Whether with a native HDMI port, you know, there's still a lot to do, but a lot less for my 4090 to cope with. The result is I'm getting 45 frames per second on the dot. That is native resolution using eye tracking. So here's the other big deal. Because the Pimax Crystal has eye tracking, at the moment the OpenXR toolkit is working with it, that definitely gives me a lot of frames back, up to about 10 to 15%. So that is a very cool feature of the Crystal. However, Pimax really needs to be implementing this on their own software because I'm not quite sure how long the OpenXR toolkit is going to work with this. In terms of comfort, the Quest 3 is definitely more comfortable simply because it's lighter. There's less weight on your face. Of course, that's obvious. However, I would recommend the Studio Form Balancer Kit. I've done a full review on the channel, and what that means is the strap is basically sat on top of the front of my head, and it really balances the headset out, so it sits on my head like a cap, and it's really, really comfortable. I can fly in the Crystal easily for 2 hours or more without any problems at all. Without it, definitely you can feel that frontal weight. So if you have a Crystal, check out Studio Form, and I do have a discount code which will also be in the link in the description below. So in terms of the other stuff like gaming, well, really this is a flight sim channel, but it has to be mentioned that the Quest 3 is phenomenal at standalone games, and if you're looking at a device which is really, really good wirelessly, you know, you can stand up with it, move around, it's not bulky, then obviously the Quest 3 wins. Also on the tracking of the controllers themselves are way better. Just the general quality of standalone gaming, it does not get any better than the Quest 3. So if that's your forte, if that's what you're looking for, then it's a no-brainer. The Quest 3 wins all day long. And that includes the pass-through as well. Although I do believe there's going to be some sort of add-on with the Pimax Crystal soon to enable some sort of colour pass-through, you know, with a modification to the headset. Don't know much about that at the moment, but I'll keep you posted. So overall, for flight simulation, the Pimax Crystal is not only better than the Quest 3, it's the best all-round VR headset for MSFS, DCS World, X-Plane, you know, all of the heavyweight flight sims. For seated experiences, when you want the very best visuals, field of view, audio, the whole lot, you know, it is a quirky headset. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not trying to say it is, but compared to the Quest 3, if you can afford it, the Crystal is absolutely phenomenal for this type of experience. And no, I'm not sponsored by Pimax. I'm not being paid to say any of this. It's my own personal opinion. So that's it for today, folks. Hope you enjoyed that little video to the point about the Quest 3 and Pimax Crystal. Of course the Crystal wins. However, I think the Quest 3 is still an amazing option. You do need some accessories for it though, which will bump the price up. But, you know, if I had to choose which headsets to use for flight simming, it's easily the Pimax Crystal all day long. Thank you so much for watching. As always, take care and bye for now.